You know, if I asked you to picture the single biggest clump of humanity on Earth, where would you think of? Maybe a massive city like Tokyo? Or maybe somewhere like coastal China or Western Europe? Well, what if I told you the answer is actually a place that is the largest, densest, and most continuous population core in all of human history? Let's take a look. Here it is. This is the number that just changes everything. 506 million people. That's how many people live in the area we're about to explore. Just let that number sink in for a second. Okay, let's try to make sense of that number, because 506 million is just so huge it's hard to grasp. To put it into perspective, this one single unbroken region in northern India has more people than the entire continent of South America, more people than the whole of Europe, from Portugal to Russia. It is an absolutely mind-boggling concentration of human beings. So, how do we even begin to wrap our heads around this? We're going to have to break it down, starting with the incredible scale of this demographic heavyweight. And this right here, this is the place, the North Indian Gangetic Plain. This map shows you both the physical land and where people live. And you see that incredible dark red area stretching right across the map? That's not just a bunch of cities. No, that's a massive, continuous expanse of incredibly dense human settlement. This is the heart of what we're talking about. So what exactly is this core? Where does it begin and end? And what makes it so unique in all of history? Well, to really analyze a phenomenon this big, you need some clear boundaries. So this analysis focuses on a specific group of 8 administrative units, think states, that are all connected, side by side. Together, they form the basic geographic shape of this massive population core. And here they are. You've got Jammu and Kashmir up in the north, stretching down through the real heartland states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. These 8 regions, together, are the container for that staggering 506 million people we saw a moment ago. Now, what makes this place so special isn't just one thing. It's actually this very rare intersection of 3 key factors, all happening at once. You have massive, massive scale, you have incredibly high density, and it's all happening in one continuous area, with no big mountains or deserts breaking it up. So this is the crucial point. The North Indian core is pretty much the only place on Earth where these 3 things, immense size, intense density, and geographic continuity, all overlap to this degree. It really is a one-of-a-kind feature on our planet. But why here? I mean, what kind of natural force could possibly support 500 million people packed into one continuous belt? Well, the answer, like it so often is in human history, comes down to water. And here, you can see the engine that drives it all. On the left, you have the 2 incredible river systems that define this region, the Indus and the Ganges. And then on the right, you see the result, a single, gigantic, unbroken carpet of super fertile soil, all laid down by those rivers over thousands of years. This plain is basically a perfect, non-stop engine for agriculture. And that's the key insight right there. Even though we think of the Indus and the Ganges as 2 separate river systems, they both come from the same place, the Himalayas, and they feed one continuous plain. They essentially act as a single, unified system for supporting life on an absolutely massive scale. Okay, so we get the why from a geographic standpoint, but to really feel the impact of this, we've got to go back and look at the sheer intensity of the numbers again. This chart really helps you see the pieces of the puzzle. The whole thing is our 506 million, but just look at the individual states. Uttar Pradesh alone is home to an estimated 241 million people. If it were its own country, it would be the 5th biggest in the entire world. Then you have Bihar right next door with 131 million. These aren't just states, they're demographic giants. And it's not just about the total number, it's how tightly packed everyone is. The density across this huge region, and this includes the countryside, not just cities, is between 900 and 1,100 people for every square kilometer. To put that in perspective, in most other parts of the world, you'd only see that kind of density inside a city or its immediate suburbs. Here, it's the norm. And this chart, wow, this really puts it all into perspective. The density of the North Indian core just completely dwarfs the next closest equivalent, which is the North China Plain. And when you compare it to the average for continents like Africa, Europe, or the Americas, it's not even in the same ballpark. It is a true global outlier. Which brings us to our final thought. So we've defined this place, we've seen its unbelievable scale, and we understand what makes it possible. The question this leaves us with is a really big one for the future. As we look ahead, how is this unprecedented concentration of people, the largest and densest in all of history, going to shape our world in the 21st century?